Welcome everybody to the third Connected Communities Heritage Network Conference. Glad you could make it despite the weather. My name's Nick Higgett from De Montfort University in Leicester, and I'm sort of the main person who organises and runs the network. So during the 2 days, if you're here for the 2 days, if there are any particular problems or issues, then feel free to come and chat with me. As we go through the day, we'll sort of brief you and update you on various housekeeping things. So if there's an alarm, then we'll be going out through the same way that we came in this morning. The tea and coffee is running until 11:15, so if you need to get a coffee, you've got about 20 minutes to make sure you can get one, and then we'll be breaking for lunchtime around 1 o'clock, which will be back in the Minerva building where you registered and where you got coffee this morning. Okay. We've got some tours planned for this evening, which we'll talk a little bit more about this afternoon. And there's a tour of the city and of the cathedral. If you want to go on those, we'll put a list out probably at lunchtime so you can sign up for those. There's no charge, okay? And then I know some of you have already booked on for the conference meal this evening at the Wigan Mitre. If you want to join us, then again, let myself or David know at the registration desk. And just a brief note as well, we have a hashtag for this event, so if you'd like to tweet, feel free. It's CCHN 2016. That's CCHN 2016. That's the hashtag. Okay? Right, so I'd like to now hand over to Carenza at the University of Lincoln, who's very kindly hosting this event for us. I think she's going to do a short talk just to introduce you to Lincoln and to the university, so I'll hand over to her. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Nick. A short talk would be very much overstating what I'm going to do. I just wanted to literally say a couple of words to welcome you to Lincoln and just say to I'm a member of the Connected Communities Heritage Network. I'm a professor in the School of History and Heritage here at Lincoln. I just arrived myself here in September, so I'm new here. I'm really pleased we got the Heritage Network has come to Lincoln. For those of you who haven't been here before, it's an amazing place, and if you haven't been, I would just say we're down at the sort of bottom of the town at the moment. Please do try and find some time to have a look at the history, because it's such an appropriate place to come to for a heritage conference, because it has an amazing heritage. And if you haven't been to Lincoln before or haven't explored it before, it is somewhere with standing Roman ruins. I think it's the only Roman arch you can still drive through today. I'm not sure one really should be driving through it. Anyway, you can. This is all in uphill Lincoln. There's a Norman tea shop at the top there. I don't think it was a tea shop in the Norman period, but it is an amazing historic place with these standing. It was, Lincoln was one of the 3 great cities of Roman Britain. It is one of the 3 great cities of medieval Britain. It has more churches in it. It's in the top 4 in terms of the number of churches, giving an indication of its importance. If you don't like your tea in a Norman undercroft, you can go for the tea shop on the medieval bridge. Lincoln has the only medieval bridge still with its original medieval shops in situ on it. And then, of course, there's the cathedral. I just put up a couple of quotes, so it's not my hyperbole, about Lincoln. Ruskin, the most precious piece of architecture in the British Isles, he actually said it was worth, sort of more or less, 2 of any other cathedrals. I love the idea of ranking cathedrals on a sort of worth 1 cathedral, worth 1.5 cathedrals, and so on. And as you say, William Cobbett, it's simply the finest building in the whole world. It is amazing the way it dominates the area around it, and both during the day and at night. And if you arrived here last night, you will have seen it sort of sitting up on the top of the huge limestone ridge that it's built on top of, and it really is absolutely spectacular. The 12th century frieze that's across the top of it is, someone described it recently as Britain's equivalent of the Elgin marbles, except we're entitled to keep this here. It's had to be extensively restored, it hasn't been repainted like this, but it is quite interesting to see attempts to do this sort of thing. And again, there's a sort of heritage question about that, you know, to what extent do we look to restore things? Lincoln has a more modern heritage. Many of you may have seen the Dam Busters film with the Dam Busters flying over Lincoln en route to carry out their mission, and that was celebrated this year. And then to take us into the 21st century, we've got the university, of course, which is where you are now. It's a campus that uses modern and older buildings, so again there's a heritage being mixed together there. And so what I would say, Nick has mentioned that there's a tour tonight. It is forecast, I think, to snow. I'm sure that's over-optimistic, but the weather is not perfect for a tour, but I would say if you haven't been to Lincoln before and you do have a little bit of time, do try and get up the hill. It's called Steep Hill. It's called Steep Hill for a reason, but it is well worth just exploring a bit. It's a fantastic city and it's a brilliant location to come to for a conference themed around heritage. So that's all I'm going to say now, and then hand on to the next speaker.